Hey you witches, it's Taya, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about witch school. I've kind of dropped it in a couple videos before that I've started going to witch school, and I thought I'd come and share a little bit about what that means, what I'm up to, all the goods on that. So first, a little bit of background about why am I going to witch school. So I am a long-time eclectic witch. I am completely self-taught out of books, videos, you name it. I started when I was 19. For reference, I'm like 44 now. So, that's 25 years of being completely self-taught. And I'm at a point where I have to acknowledge that I have some knowledge gaps, right? I am sure there's stuff that being completely self-taught I may have missed or missed the importance of. I also know that there's some stuff that I'd really like to get more into, but I feel insecure. I feel uncertain given the fact that I know I have some knowledge gaps. So I'd like to get more into spirit work, working with my ancestors, that kind of stuff, working with fetches and familiars and all those kind of good things that come along with traditional witchcraft. And again, I just don't feel confident attacking that all on my own. I really feel like I want a little bit of instruction, a little bit of mentoring, right? The other thing is, of course, we're in the middle of, it's been over a year now of the pandemic, and I'm really, really needing community. And I really felt like I just need people in my life that are on the same page as me and that I can talk to and, be a part of a community. And then finally, I really wanted a tradition. So when I started my witchcraft journey way back in the 90s, I really kind of bucked at the idea of traditions, right? That's one of the reasons Wicca didn't sit well with me. I was just, I was like, it's too structured. I wanted to be free to explore. And now I've sort of come full circle where I've done all this exploring and I've done all this work, and I really feel like now at this point in my life, I really want tradition. I want some rules. I want some structure to my practice, if you will. So here I did look locally here. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, and I did look around, and wow, there's an amazing Wiccan community here. I'm in touch with, I talked to lots of them. There's a great pagan community, but I couldn't find anybody who was doing specifically like traditional or folkloric witchcraft. It was all, any sort of teaching, learning situations were all Wicca. And so I thought, not only would I like to have a tradition, but I would like to be able to bring that to my area because I just sort of feel like it's a little bit lacking. So again, there was nothing local, so I had to go online. Now, who is witch school for? I get it. It is not for everybody. But people who are like me, looking for, to fill knowledge gaps, that are looking for community, that want to work with a tradition, right? Sometimes finding something like my witch school is going to be helpful. Some people do balk at that structure of tradition, of that idea of somebody telling you how to do your practice. I get it. I was like that for years and years and years. It's only been I'd say probably the last year and a half that I've really been feeling like I need something more. And if you're interested in learning within a tradition, you also need to be willing to take on potentially differing views. That's one thing I've really noticed is, if you're coming to a tradition, you need to be respectful. If you're there to learn a tradition, you need to learn that tradition, even if it's maybe not always, maybe if it's at odds with what you've taught yourself so far. You need to be willing to, entertain potentially differing views. One example is, I know the tradition I'm studying in, they work with the dark moon, right? The dark moon as a time of banishing, as a time of, that time of the dark moon. Obviously, I haven't done a lot of work with it. I personally have always worked with the new moon, the time of new beginnings, right? Setting new intentions for the next moon cycle, that kind of an idea. And one of our assignments is to do some spell work around the dark moon. And I kind of had to wrap my head around it because I was like, well, that's great. I do this every month. I'll just send in what I'm already doing. And when I sat down and really looked at it, I thought, what I'm doing isn't in line with what this tradition is teaching. What I'm doing isn't wrong. It's just not in line with what this tradition is teaching. It's teaching about the dark moon and a time of banishing. I personally think I can have both. So I do my new moon during the day when the new moon is in the sky. And at night when it's dark, I do the dark moon banishing, that kind of an idea. So you have to be sort of willing to wiggle on your views a little bit, right? I can't go in, I'm not going to go in there and argue with her that, no, it's the new moon, not the dark moon. That's not my place, right? So if you're willing to take on those potentially differing views, which school might be for you? Now, what is it? What am I'm rambling on here. What is it? So basically, it is an independent study course that has a detailed course guide and a Facebook group for support. So really, it's an entire year. There are 52 exercises. So it basically works out to one exercise a week that you work through over the course of a year. And you can get the course guide and just take it and go do it on your own, or you can get the course guide and come and join this group. And then you have a little bit more mentoring, a little bit more interaction with other people, that kind of an idea. So of course I've chosen to do that because I do want to build some community, right? So it actually works out to 3 years of study, but right now we're just working on the first year. She's put the first year out. Basically, she is out of Kentucky, Illinois, and she put together this. She has been teaching this tradition she actually created this tradition. She's the founder of it. And she has been teaching this tradition for, she said 20 odd years, and has just recently decided to start offering it online through this virtual format. I'm lucky I got in right at the very, when she very first posted the course. And so potentially it works out to 3 years of study. So I'm going to do all 3 years. Well, that's my goal, is to do all 3 years. I'm about a third of the way through the first year. And basically you just work through that book on your own and you hand in assignments as you go, or not. Some people, you may choose not to do to do the assignments, but not hand them in for marking. I'm choosing to hand them in and get them graded. And yeah, you work through the assignments. Let's see, what are some of the assignments that we've done? So obviously there's like spell work for the new moon, the dark moon, the waning, waxing, full moon. There's every Sabbath, there's a ritual that you would do. There's like all kinds of different sorts of types of spell work. So I've done, I just recently did cord work. We're working on talismans and amulets, creating a witch's glove, all kinds of different things, as well as there's also like foundational stuff like ethics. I had to write a ethics statement. What other kind of stuff did we do? Sorry, I'm having a hard time thinking of it off the head. But you see, there's a whole broad range of assignments and things. There's book reviews. So we have to do 4 different book reviews throughout the year, 4 different divination practices. It's actually quite intensive. This is a lot of work. Some assignments are just, you do them and they're done. You just hand them in or whatever and you're done. Other ones are sort of ongoing. So keeping track of all of your full moon work, keeping track of creating protection cords every equinox and solstice. I'm trying to think, there's other ones, but stuff that's sort of ongoing. So you sort of build a practice as you're going through this. And yeah, so my goal is to complete all 3 years. So you do your first year, which is like your initiation, your dedication initiation. You do your second year, which is like practicum, and you do your third year, which is then mastery. And if you do all 3 years and you've built a relationship with the teacher and the group, then at the end of the 3 years, you can actually go down and initiate with their group and be initiated member of their coven, as well as have her blessing to go and then teach this tradition where you're at. So that is kind of my goal. What I'd really like to get from this is I would love to spend, 3 years studying, go down, initiate, and come back and actually be able to teach within this tradition here locally in my area. So I know you're all like, tell me the details. I'm not going to go. If you want to know the name of the course, the instructor, all that, I am certainly willing to share it. But this isn't like an advertisement for that. I don't want to just sort of like bomb it out there on the internet. I haven't talked to her. I don't know where she would stand on that. So if you want the information, feel free to email me. It's tayakennedy.witch@gmail.com. If you go to the About and it says for business inquiries or something, here's my email address, you're welcome to email me and I will send you the information. I'll send you the link to all the information for her courses. It is traditional, it's American folklore witchcraft, so it is traditional witchcraft, not Wicca. And yeah, if that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. It's tayakennedy.witch@gmail.com. And I would certainly love to hook you up with all that information so you can go and see if it was something that would work for you. But mostly I just wanted this video to explain sort of why I'm going to school, because I know it's not for everybody, and just sort of, you know, I'm going to school, what I'm hoping to get out of it, how it works, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, if you're interested in that, send me an email. Otherwise, I think we'll see you in the next one. All right, thanks so much, you guys.